I'm Will Beacham, ICIS Chemical Business Deputy Editor, and I'm here in Geneva on Tuesday with Greg Bond, who's the Corporate Director of Product Responsibility for Dow and also co-chair of the International Council of Chemical Associations team leading the industry contribution to SciChem, which is the UN Global Product Stewardship Initiative. Greg, could you give us an update on the global product strategy and where you're going from here?
Sure, Will. I'm pleased to have this opportunity. The International Council of Chemical Associations launched the Global Product Strategy in 2006 in Dubai at the first International Council of first International Conference on Chemicals Management as its contribution to the strategic approach to international chemicals management. Since that launch in 2006, we've been in the development phase, developing tools for member companies to implement product stewardship, including defining a base set of hazard and exposure information as a best practice for companies to implement. We've also developed workshops to teach small and medium-sized companies in developing countries how to do product stewardship and improve their environmental health and safety performance. We've also defined metrics for how we're going to measure our implementation of the Global Product Strategy that complement the metrics we're already collecting under the Responsible Care Initiative. And these metrics we will report to the Secretariat of SciChem to ensure accountability for performance under the Global Product Strategy. We're also in the process of developing an IT portal that will enable the public to access chemical hazard information, chemical risk and safety evaluations more easily. And then we're just on the cusp of putting in place pilots to test the guidance that we're giving companies. These pilots will take place with 5 to 7 companies in each region of the world over the next several months. And we'll use that feedback from the pilot project to improve the guidance before we implement it then in the geography. So we're moving really from development of tools to implementation of the Global Product Strategy out in the geographies among our member companies.
Thank you. So could you tell us a bit more about the timetable for the implementation of the Global Product Strategy?
Be pleased to. The pilot project that I spoke of, we're trying to implement by the end of the second quarter of 2009. So that's going to be completed over the next several months. The Global Product Strategy actually defines 2 milestones. First, 2012, so that by 2012 companies will have assessed their highest priority chemicals and conducted safety assessments and made those safety assessments publicly accessible. And then by 2018, the goal is that companies will have assessed all of their products and conducted safety assessments according to the guidance and made them publicly accessible.
Okay, so what's the expectation from chemical producers over the coming years? What can I expect as a chemical producer to be providing? What sort of information, what sort of responsibilities will I have?
I think most companies in our industry, I think hopefully all of them, have been doing product safety assessments and making good decisions about when to sell chemicals into specific applications and uses. So hopefully this is not new to most companies, but companies should be expecting to hear from, I would say, their country chemical industry association around workshops and guidance for implementation of the Global Product Strategy. They also should expect to hear from their suppliers and their customers, because in the chemical industry we sell a lot of products amongst ourselves, and as this momentum builds, we expect that there'll be a lot of questions being asked of chemical producers about the work that they've done to assess the safety of their chemicals. Ultimately, what we expect is that companies will make their safety assessments publicly accessible, so they'll publish them on their websites or otherwise make them accessible to their stakeholders, so that we can again continuously hold each other accountable for improved product stewardship performance, but also invite more dialogue with our stakeholders.
Can I just also add in, you see that some people would say that this is like a self-policing by the chemical industry. Do you think there's also a place for regulation as well?
Yes, the global product strategy actually is, in our vision, achieved through a voluntary industry initiatives plus a balance with regulation. And where the existing regulation is already strong, companies can largely achieve the global product strategy through compliance with those regulations. But companies operate around the world. Chemical regulation is uneven. The attempt of the global product strategy is to set a bar of performance that is high, that meets public expectations around the globe.
Okay, and what's the level of commitment amongst the industry leadership to this initiative?
Well, this is an initiative that is supported at the highest level of the chemical industry. There are more than 150 chief executive officers of companies in the chemical industry that have signed the Responsible Care Global Charter and the Global Product Strategy to implement it. And our work in leading the Chemical Policy and Health Leadership Group in the Global Product Strategy is supported at a CEO level. In fact, on Thursday of this week at the International Conference on Chemicals Management 2 here in Geneva, we'll have 9 of our chemical industry CEOs participate on a panel with NGOs and IGOs talking about this initiative, this Global Product Strategy initiative. Additionally, the ICCA Board of Directors has decided to have their meeting here in Geneva on Friday as a continuation to show their support for SciChem, for their support for the Global Product Strategy, and we'll be taking up the next set of recommendations on where we go with implementation of the Global Product Strategy with our chief executive officers.
Greg, thanks very much.
Thank you, Will.